Sheenique B, where we talk about trauma, drama, spirituality, and healing. I am feeling so much better. I'm so happy. And I'm filming this like a week before I move. So you'll probably hear this episode on the 26th, which is for the 26th. Forgot to film an episode, actually pre-film the episode for that date. I don't know what happened. So yeah, and I'm so happy. I literally washed, blow dried, and trimmed my ends for my hair because it was just getting out of hand. I was feeling like there's too much going on. So this episode is going to be a very trauma episode. I'm gonna try to limit what I say. Make sure no names are involved because there is a police investigation going on with this matter. And it has to do with my oldest son's father. And it's again happened again. It's kind of annoying. It's sad because I'm more sad for my son. I really could care less about me. I'm just pissed off that like it's happening again. Like, why can't people just understand when people have moved on and they're happy, and you know you can't control somebody's life anymore, and you can't be that person. Like, I'm not that person I was when I was 18. And you know, I'll probably talk a little bit about like my past with his father and like how we met and how I was when I met him. I remember when I met him, I was still living with my parents, so obviously I was still experiencing some severe abuse, of course. But overall, I hope, before we get into it, I hope everyone's doing well. I'm excited to be moving. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I got some things in the clutch. I'm also doing some grocery shopping tomorrow. So I'm excited. I'm going to be also doing school shopping for my son. Ugh, amazing. We did a little bit, but now I could do a full-blown one, and for both of my kids, and probably get some things for the baby. Yeah, not too much though, because you know this baby seems like he's gonna be big, and already moved himself down into my pelvic area, which hurts. But yeah, I'm excited to take JV on to Walmart. So we're gonna get into it now. I met my Javon's father when I was 18, and we were going to Centennial College. We dated for about 4 to 5 years on and off. I got pregnant, and I kept the baby, and little Javion was born. Highlight of my life, big smart boy, very protective over me. And yeah, so you know, I was very easy to manipulate, very easy to take control of. I was 18, kind of very codependent, not even kind of, very, you know, always looking for an escape because, you know, living with the family wasn't easy. And so he was there. I mean, he bought me certain things, but sooner or later, after a while, things got very annoying and hectic and controlling and like manipulative, and like not being satisfied after a while, not being happy, and you know, kind of just numbing the pain and kind of just being able to kind of like push it to sleep, kind of sweep it under the rug and deal with it type of thing. And it lasted, this kind of sweeping it under the rug and not speaking up in the relationship as much about it was until I had JV on. And when I had JV on, like, I completely changed. Like, my whole personality, everything changed. It was like I felt this big strength in me where I couldn't, like, nobody could tell me fucking no, or I could do whatever the hell I want, and it's for my kid, and I'm gonna stand on that. It took me a while. It took a couple people to push me. I also was able to get the strength to cut off a few friends in the meantime, because I had not the best friends at all either. That's one thing I probably struggle with is friendships, because honestly, people suck. But yeah, so it was very controlling. I didn't know it was gonna get to hitting until I moved in with him. And when I moved in with him, that's when I experienced the hitting part. The jealousy part, jealous of how, what I wanted to do in life, and like I knew what I was doing, and like going out, having time for myself. Like he wanted to hold that from me. And mind you, I didn't take him to court for my son for custody and child support. I waited a year till my son was a year to do it. I didn't even want to do it, because who wants to do that? Like, who wants to go through that process? Like, you want to be able to work it out with your child's father. Like, that's mainly, I mean, not for all girls. Some girls just want the money, and some girls just want to do their own thing. No judgment over there. But for me, it took me a year. And because at the end of the day, I still loved him at the time. But then I really looked at how I was struggling, and how like I had no time for myself, and like I was tired, and I was tired of him coming and just leaving. And like my son would always, like, Javion honestly would cry. Like he would go to the door and cry when his dad left, and it sucks. It hurt to see him go through that, because you never want that ever for your kid. Um, and I always say this, like, I mean, some moms prefer that, some moms who don't, their kid never even meets their father. I'm not gonna lie, I probably prefer that most, because the pain that you see within your child's eyes of them having a father that chooses to come whenever he feels like it, it's more painful than not having a father there. And that's just my experience on being a mother. And oh my god, I hope I don't cry. But it's so painful, because like you want the best for this kid, this little kid. You're a young mom, like first time mom, and like kid is your everything. And like, so like you kind of just like, what don't you see in this, in the kid that I see as a mom, like as a father, like what don't you see? um so that was very hard. A lot of red flags I've seen. But after a while, like I was like, I'm done, and took him to court and didn't tell him. And he would help me with groceries from time to time. Like he would buy me certain things. I'm not saying that he didn't help, but there's always conditions to the help. There's always some type of like upper hand or whatever to help. Either like he'll buy the groceries, but he doesn't need to spend time with his kid, or he like, I can count how many times on my finger when Javion was young, he took his kid up until court. Like I think when he consistently started taking, like was able to actually watch him, was when we lived together, and that's when Javon turned 3 or 4. So imagine 4 years, three to 4 years of you not taking responsibility of your kid and taking him for the weekend. And when I took you to court, you only took him like, no, even before I took you to court, you maybe took him like once, twice a month, or every 2, 3 months. Like it was never consistent. And on top of that, you're bad mouthing me to your parents and your family and your friends, and making it seem like I'm the problem, but really and truly it's you. And so I had to deal with that a lot. And after when you feel like you're in love with somebody, you feel like you have to prove yourself to your family. After a while, you just don't give a fuck anymore, because at the end of the day, to me, my kid was, J-Ron is my only family at the time, before I had Jelani, of course. But he was my only family. He was my ride or die. He was everything. And one thing, he still is. And one thing about me too was I barely spent money on myself when I had him. I remember I used to tell like friends that I was friends with that like I only, like I feel bad for buying things for myself, because like I just want to give everything to this little boy. Like when I tell you J-Ron had all the toys, he had all the toys. Every month when that child tots came in, he had all the toys, clothes, shoes. Like that was my kid. I would match with him, everything. And then one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to put some for me and him. So instead, I went shopping. I made sure we had groceries. I went shopping for me and him at the mall, and it was kind of like a bonding experience. Like, oh my god, mommy's getting new clothes, you're getting new clothes type of thing. And I felt better. I felt more self love in that moment because I knew I was a good mom, regardless of me getting stuff for myself as well. And I recommend all moms do that. Like, honestly, I know the money is for the kid. Don't ever forget that the money is for your child, but you have bills to pay. You have groceries to do. You know, you gotta feel like yourself. After having a kid, you're literally not yourself. It takes you so long to get back to yourself. I forgot who I was after I had Javion, because I had to now adjust to, like, oh my god, I have to speak up for my kid. I can't stay quiet. Like, if someone does something on the subway or someone does something to him at daycare, I have to be there and have to have the mouth to speak. And that was literally a struggle because I wasn't the person to speak up on a lot of things, and I did not have the mouth I have today. I'm more blunt today. I don't care not to ignore you. Like, I'm more confident and more standing on my ground, on my shit, more than I was when I was 18 up to like maybe 23, 24. And it took me a long time to get there. And so yeah, and like, after a while, like, I moved to like my condo area or whatever with him. And it's crazy because I had a dream, and the dream was warning me not to move in with him. I didn't listen. Like, girls, people, even with guys, just trust your intuition, because honestly, your intuition does not fucking fail you. Trust that shit, because honestly, I could have been not in that situation. I don't have regrets because everything's a learning lesson in life. So I will never have a regret about that, because I truly did love my child's father. That was my first love. And I had a kid for him, but not anymore. Like, honestly, like, I've healed so much from that connection. And my son is the greatest thing that happened out of that connection, and I love that kid with all my heart. Makes me laugh on a daily. He has that personality is crazy. But yeah, it doesn't disgust me that he looks like his father. I'm not one of those moms. Actually, when I was pregnant, I was so happy that he came out turning like his father, because his family, his dad's family, his dad were trying to say that, like, they need a DNA test. They're not sure if the kid's actually his. So when my son came out looking a spinning image like his father, oh, I was laughing. I had a field day. I was so happy. There was just a lot of controlling, a lot of abuse of, like, he gets to do what he wants to do, and I had to put a lot of things on the back burner, and that involved music, that involved, I remember I was in school, and I had to literally, I would be late to class or couldn't do tests because of the fact that if we got in a fight, he would not pick up Javion from daycare. He would not do that at all. It would be always like this manipulation tactic or whatever the fuck. And I don't have time for that. So I would take him, and I had teachers that were very supportive. I had classmates that helped me, like, they were very attentive to him. But it's just exhausting when you don't get to do what you gotta do, especially because you're going to school for you and your kid. And I did graduate from that program. I'm very proud of myself, but like, I'm not working in that field yet. I don't know if I really want to, but yeah. So it's just crazy, like, the type of things that he would do, and like, even moving on, and like, having a partner, like, was a problem. Like, why are you following me out the apartment to go and see a guy when you were not together? We may live together, but we're not together, and you constantly have other females that you're talking to, and I don't care about it. So the fact that you still care is weird. Like, why would you put yourself in a position to talk to other people and fool other people when you are not over your ex, but your ex is over you? And it was hard to live with somebody and that you've had a history with, and date people. Like, it was very hard. Like, I could not have phone calls in private because he would be listening. I would have to drop Davion to school even if it was far, and if I dropped him late, it was a problem. I got threatened. Like, you know what I mean? My kid got threatened for putting Nutella on a wall. like there's certain things as like a person, like as a parent, like you're like, and I would get hit for defending my kid. You think I'd care? You can hit me, but there's no way you're putting hands on my fucking kid. That's not happening. I don't even put hands on my kid like that at all, because I honestly don't believe in the whole hitting type of thing. Like he just needs to like Jigon is the type of person that like you gotta have to tell him over and over and over, and you have to be very stern and you have to be consistent, because if you're not consistent, that kid will play you. um so he's independent in certain ways, like he's independent when it comes to making his breakfast, eating his food, getting dressed, type of thing. But bedtime, no. Bedtime, he's still scared, like to sleep in the dark. He still wants mommy there. He still wants mommy to sleep beside him and be there, because he has nightmares and that's hard. But I'm now training him that he has to be on his own, and he gets mad at me every single day. I hear the complaint. I hear it every single day right before his bedtime. You don't sleep with me. You're rude. I have nightmares and you're not there. And like sometimes I feel bad because I will be sleeping in my room and I do hear him like scream like, ah, mom, help me. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh God. So like, but this is something that he has to go through as a kid, and he has to learn. And if I don't start now, it's gonna be forever, and I don't want that. Like you're grown, you're a man, you're gonna be a man someday. So I'm training him to learn to like he has to learn to do this. And when we move, I'm gonna make sure that we have more lights in the room, because I know he's afraid of the dark, and that's crazy. And it's crazy because when I was his age, I was afraid of the dark as well. So yeah, I'm more training him than like trying to get him where he needs to be, and making sure I always raise all my boys independent. All my kids are gonna be independent. Like there's no, I'll be there as a mom nurturing. Of course, you'll have everything that you need. But when you get to a certain age, you gotta learn certain things to do on your own. I'm not saying I'm gonna stop and make my kid clean the whole house at 6. No, but like learn to make your breakfast on your own. You know, learn to like watch TV, and if you do need help, you gotta ask mommy. Don't try to do it yourself. One thing that I love with Javion is that we love cooking together. It's a big bonding experience. I enjoy that so much with him. He's funny as hell. But yeah, like I finally built this bond, and I protect my kid as well. And obviously, you know, there's times where I do want to break, but when it comes to my son and he's telling me he doesn't want to go to his dad's, or he doesn't want to be there, or you know things are happening at the house, I have to do what's best for him and not what's best for me. I may be tired as hell and I want to break, but if my son is not happy, I'd rather have him here being crazy and being free to do whatever he wants, and not feeling so restricted, and not have so much anxiety of what's going on over there, than keeping him there because I want to break. Like, of course, I wanted to have like see his dad. And I guess in the beginning he was happy, but not anymore. And you know, I had to respect that. Like, my kid is pretty good, but one weekend he came back, and even me and my boyfriend saw this because we were like, what the hell? Like, he was acting so bad. Like, he came home, temper tantrum, kicking boxes, stomping up the stairs. Like, he was pissed off when he came back one weekend. And I was like, this is not my child. What is going on? So, you know, my boyfriend can get a lot of things out of him than I can. And I guess it's because I'm the type of person where he tells me something and I'm calling his dad right away to page him. So I guess he feels more comfortable because my boyfriend's a boy and he can communicate with him and open up to him and tell him how he feels, and know that, you know, he's not gonna tell mommy, but you know, he tells mommy anyway, because that's his right. Like, as a boyfriend, like, you know, you want to make sure that, you know, the kid know, the mom knows, and he makes sure that he does tell me. But yeah, they had a little rapport going on there. But I'm happy that it's coming out and I'm hearing about it, than not hearing him talk to me and tell me certain things, or not having someone that he could tell, that he feels more comfortable and less scared to tell. Because it would honestly be sad to know that something like that, something crazy was going on, which it is technically. And to not know about it and to not being able to think that, oh my God, I could do something about that. So that's another reason why there's an investigation going on. Like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'll just talk surface level. There has been, harassment ever since the last charges got dropped. You know, the first thing he said he was a changed man. I deep down know he's not, because there's no way you can change in a year. Especially if you don't do the work, and then you're known for not doing the work. Yeah. So he, I had a boyfriend. I still have my boyfriend, my child's father, my new baby. Technically, he's my fiance, but where I'm not like, I'm more focused on the kid and moving right now than I'll focus on being a fiance, because honestly, when I have too many things going on, I can't enjoy what is like the happiest moments in my life. When I'm stressed, and moving is very stressful, I cannot focus on like, oh my God, I'm engaged, oh my God, I'm having a new baby. Like, I have to make sure everything is settled first before I even think about that. I'm happy, it's definitely there. We're both happy, but we know baby comes first and moving comes first, because we have to make sure babies and kids are settled, and me. So that's why you see me calling him boyfriend. But yeah. So the first thing that this guy does is when he gets Javion for the weekend after his charges got dropped for the last time, for the last incident, which was, I reported late, which is why they got dropped. He goes and he asks my son some very inappropriate questions, like, what, like, is like, you and, like, is me and my boyfriend never naked in front of him, or like really disgusting things, like, oh, does your mom have a boyfriend in the house? Like, why is the first thing that you haven't seen your kid in over a year, almost 2 years, and you ask him about me? Why not about him? Not why about what he wants, and why are you even thinking about that area, and you're asking a 6-year-old that? Anyways, that was red flag number one, and he tried to come to me about it, and I had to page him and say that, like, me and you are not together, and my kid is not just gonna randomly go and talk about that, because his focus is not even on, when he sees you, he's focused on, oh my God, I want to play with daddy, oh my God, I have so much questions to ask daddy, not what is mommy and her boyfriend doing. So for you to come out of nowhere and lie and constantly say, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing this, he's doing that, da da da, he's saying this, it's just not true, and it's false. And me and my boyfriend don't ever do that at all. So for him to bring that up to a 6-year-old is kind of whack. It's stupid, and I don't have the energy for it. So that was another one. And I'm aggressive as hell. When you start paging me on stupid shit, oh my God. So that was one. And then the other one was like Christmas, where my boyfriend gave like my son all his old PS4 games, because he does not play PS4 anymore, and he wanted to get rid of the games. And obviously he's not thinking about the age on the games. So my son was playing it, and obviously his dad tried to find a fault in the game, and one of the games about why is he playing that age, da 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 da. I'm like, and try to get out my boyfriend for it and say, oh, I'm gonna come talk to him or whatever, da da. And I have to pitch him again, like, first of all, who cares? It's something that's as simple as you can make him stop playing the fucking game. It's not that serious. You're trying to make things a big deal, and it doesn't have to be a big deal, and you're just talking like you love to talk. So, yeah, that was another one, and it was just really annoying, and I had to like start telling my son, like, there's certain things that happen here at home with mommy that you gotta keep to yourself. You don't need to tell him, and what I say in my house goes. Whatever dad says in his house goes, but when you come here, the rules don't change. It's different here. So it kind of took me a while to understand that. Then it just then it stopped for a while, but then it got to like, oh, why are you leaving my son with your boyfriend? Because I got grocery shopping to do, and I don't want to bring my son with me because my son likes to pick up things sometimes, and I'm not going there for that. So I don't see a problem with my boyfriend watching my kids. He has to be around them. He has to learn them. He has to get to know them. He's known them for a while. He's been here longer. He's been here for the past year that you were missing. So I don't see a problem with that. Oh, you must have forgot the man I am. No, I haven't, and I also don't care about the man that you are because you're not a man in the first place. So you can keep trying to remind me of that, but it doesn't really scare me. I don't care about it. Like, you're wasting your energy even talking and saying that stuff. So kept saying that, and like, no one cares. You can't say you change man and then you say stuff like that. Like, you're weird. So I started to ignore when he used to say that and stuff like that. And I guess J-Bon would call him on FaceTime. My boyfriend would be there. So we had to make the rule that, J-Bon cannot FaceTime his dad when boyfriend's around because it creates issues and problems. And he has said some disrespectful things to my boyfriend, which were not cool. My boyfriend has a mouth on him. My boyfriend knows when to mind his business. So he stayed quiet. He does not respond. He does not care. It has nothing to do with him. And he just stays quiet. He has a lot to say, but he stays quiet because that's not a situation that he should be speaking in. Because at the end of the day, it's something that I need to handle. And best for sure I handle it because I don't like baby father problems. So, and I think he tried to create that, which it's never going to happen. So, yeah, basically that happened too. And it got really bad after when I started to like look for places and move, acting like he can help me. Menega, you have shown over the years that you are very unstable and you're not stability and you will never be stable. So I find an apartment. I hope to move with my boyfriend soon, but we have to figure out some work stuff with him because it's hard, like transferring jobs and all that. So yeah, but it looks like it will be happening. So he was already upset. The first thing he's like, "Oh, you're moving to this whatever city you're moving to, and you're moving with him." I'm sorry. Who do you control who I move with and who I don't move with? Getting mad over FaceTime. I'm like, honestly, Kay, I don't have time for this. I'm telling you I'm moving, and that's that. And he tried to tell me that I need permission from him to move my child. Honestly, I should have really read my final order. I read it, but like I didn't read like the daily conditions because I never thought I'd be moving out of the city, and I am. So went back, made him write this bougie ass fucking letter, and he tried to tell me, I could say no. I'm like, you could say no, but I'll beat it in court. So, and you're kind of wasting your time. You could do it, but I'll still beat it in court because one, you have past charges. Two, I have full custody, and three, you have proven to show threats. And I used to tell him this: your little threats that you're doing now is gonna backfire on you one day, and it is backfiring on him. So he didn't listen. So yeah. I've read the final order on my court for custody and said that I can leave anywhere with my child, move anywhere with my child. He, unfortunately, has to get a permission from me if he wants to leave in the city with him, and it has to be a written consent. So, yeah. So I could just tell him, but I don't have to tell him exactly where I'm living or anything like that. He can just know the city, and he wanted to know everything. No, and I didn't tell him because at the end of the day, who are you to come and show up? But you need to come up there and do this, and then you don't need to be there. No, you don't. Ship the clothes through Canada Post or whatever you need to do because hell, we both know that you're not buying bare clothes for him. You don't do that either way. You call 3-5 pairs of pants, clothes. You could do a whole lot fucking more. So he wants to have this big talk about I'm buying this, I'm buying that. No, you're not. Most of the time, the reason why Draymond has bare clothes and my kids have bare stuff because of me. So at the end of the day, I don't believe your stinking lies. I don't have time for it either. Like, you're annoying. So yeah. So yeah, I just got really out of hand and I had to call the cops a couple of times, and now it's finally going on this investigation, and I'm happy. He cannot contact me or be within me near where I live now or my new place. He cannot contact me. He has to see his son through a third party or talk to Jayon through a third party. He has changed his Apple ID, his number, so Jayon can't even talk to him if he wanted to. Jayon has tried to call him, and it went straight to not in service, or like it wasn't picking up, like straight to unavailable, FaceTime, whatever. And he tried, and Jayon wanted me to do it on my phone. I said I can't do that because obviously there's conditions. I'm not reaching nothing, and I don't want to talk to him. But when police tried to call him, his number is not in service. So change number. I'm happy, and I'm sad for my son, of course, because you really had to, it just proves to me, like I was trying to tell everybody, that you really don't care about your kid. Our kid, you care about me and what the hell I'm doing more. And it just shows that you're a weirdo, and you need to get help. And yeah, so I mean, Javon is coming to a conclusion where he doesn't even care for him as much. He doesn't really want to be there with him. He doesn't like going there, and he's expressed that. And at 6 years old, I wasn't actually expecting that to happen a little later, but because it's happening now, it's kind of wild. So yeah, he's like, he's not picking up the phone. Cool, call my boyfriend. He's like, so, yeah, and he calls my boyfriend dad. My other son calls him dad. I mean, I am happy to have that. I'm just sad for him because obviously the pain of the other side of his father and having to deal with that at 6 is really hard. And obviously I get my readings done, and my reader was like, you have to show him a lot of love because it's going to affect him seeing things going on right now, and you have to be there and show him a lot of love because it's gonna be affecting him. So I see it in his eyes. My kid's eyes light up the whole world. But yeah, I'm happy because I don't have that stress anymore. And this time I actually reported everything on time, so hopefully some time gets done. But yeah, he never stopped the threatening, he never stopped the harassing, he never stopped nothing. So that there's just consequences, and you have to deal with them. And I don't waste time anymore. I think at the time I took long because I was scared to report it, and now I don't have that fear anymore, because when it comes to my safety and my kid's safety, that's all that matters. And personally, I'm happy to move on. I'm actually over, when you're over your past person, like it's easier to make decisions, because when you're not and you're very indecisive, it is hard, and a lot of people don't understand that with victims of domestic violence. So it's very easy to make that decision. I think that there's some things that do have to go on. I mean, there's more, but like I said, I'm not going to go into detail about it because it is an investigation. I have to respect certain things. But yeah, stand your ground, ladies. And be there for your kids, because it's hard and they don't really get it. They just think that it's their fault, and it's not their fault. Yeah, and he also tried to hold like child support for me. Let's just say, when there's a will, there's a way, and every dog has their day, and sooner or later things don't really work out in your favor. So yeah, I think it's stupid that you tried to hold money that's for your kid away from the mother, because you can't have what you want. So I mean, you may think you're getting away with it now, but you are not. So this is just, I'm only making this, I only want to speak about this podcast because I want to bring awareness that, ladies, you don't have to be afraid, and you don't have to, what's that word? I forgot the word. Settle. Because you don't want to, you're scared. Sometimes it takes sacrifices for your happiness and doing what you got to do as a single mom, and doing what's best for you and your child. Because staying in a connection or doing them back and forth in a co-parenting environment that's toxic is not healthy for your child. And you really have to think about the child. It's really not about you, and you have to really do that. And it really does become about you when it comes to like a situation like mine, because now it's affecting the child, so it's gonna start affecting you. And so you gotta just stand your ground and do what you gotta do, man. Because honestly, you gotta be sitting on your ass chasing a nigga that don't want you. I don't have time for those. The other girls who love doing that. That cat and mouse game, I'm sorry, I cannot do. I have things to do. So, yeah, it's going on. It's sad. It's exhausting. It's annoying. But I'm happy that that situation's being handled now, and there are restrictions, and now I can just really just focus on baby. Baby has, I took a shower today, and baby decided to drop full force into my pelvis and had me walking on the damn, like, had me walking where around the area I lived to go open up a new bank account, and literally had me in pain. I'm like, oh, so you're dropping more into position. Why now? Why couldn't you just wait till I got home and I was like sleeping or something? You had to do it after the shower. Like, oh my god, I was walking like this. It still hurts. Excuse me. Oh, here. See, but this podcast is officially done anyways. This episode. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. And stay aware, stay strong, and stay focused, and stand your ground as a woman and do what's best for you and your kid. Because, yeah, you don't want to ever not stay over there. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Yeah, he's tired. Thank you guys so much. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. And that episode's about to be a big one. So, and that's the crazy episode in September. So stay tuned. I'm actually happy that I'm fully talking about that drama, and I got that drama out of my fucking system. But yeah, the true story, not the one that was made up and had too many people talking in it on that one. So yeah, have a great rest of your week, guys. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it, honestly. I really do. See ya.